everyone, Dandelion Princess here, and welcome to Gym Time, where I talk about anything and everything to do with Steven Universe. So, for the first episode, I thought it would only be fitting to talk about the Steven Universe movie. First off, don't worry if you haven't seen it yet, because the first half of this video is going to be spoiler-free, and then later in the video, I will say when spoilers are going to come in. Because I definitely do realize that not everyone got a chance to see it. I almost didn't get a chance to see it since I don't have cable. So as you may expect, if you like the show at all and are a fan of the show, you should like this movie. While the movie does plenty of exciting, new, surprising things, it really is just one long Steven Universe episode. But this movie has some great things to offer. First off, the villain is amazing. She's like a walking cartoon character, and it's so awesome to see, honestly. From an animation standpoint, everything this villain does is amazing. Speaking of animation, this movie looks great. Now, I will say that it is unfortunate that this movie didn't get to go into theaters, because if it had, it would have a way bigger budget behind it, and the animation would be able to be even better. And any little errors or off-model situations would have been easily fixed if it was going to be in theaters. But since it wasn't able to go into theaters, to me it feels like they just had more time with the movie, so they were able to make it look the best it could be. As far as songs go, some of you may not know that this movie is actually a musical. And while I do pretty much have a favorite song, this movie pulls out some amazing songs. I don't know, maybe it's just been a while since I've seen like any Steven Universe that I just really liked this movie. It was just great to see these characters again and see them singing again and doing their thing. Now, I know a lot of people think the Steven Universe series is over now and that the last episode was the series finale and that this movie is the last bit of Steven Universe we're gonna get. But this just isn't the case. I can't see the show ending the way it did if this is the case, because there was no warning to it. While I think that episode could have been a good closer for the series, as it did wrap up pretty much everything nicely, don't you think Cartoon Network would have been advertising that it's the series finale? They're all over that kind of stuff. All these TV channels are. Like, why would they not advertise it? Rebecca Sugar hasn't even said anything like, the series is over. And there have been certain things said by the voice actors for the series that really leads me to believe that we're in for at least another season or two.
You know, the things following this arc are honestly the things that are most important to me about the show, to be honest. Without diving too much into it, there's a lot on the horizon that I can't really say much about, but is by far the most important part of the show for me that we've done so far.
As to why I think we haven't had any announcement or no new episodes is basically because of this movie. I think they needed to wait for this movie to come out before they could go on and show us the next season. Now, the movie does wrap up its plot very nicely. It's not like it teases anything for the series at the end, but it still brings up some new questions. And if nothing else, it gives us a look at Beach City after Steven gets the diamonds on his side. So I do think that it's going to be important to have seen the movie by the time the next season comes out. But if I know Rebecca Sugar and the Crooniverse, I'm sure whatever needs explaining will get explained in the next season. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't panic. Not only am I sure Cartoon Network will run the movie again, but I'm sure the important plot details will get covered. Now, don't take my word as gospel, because there is always a chance that I could be wrong on this. Even with the different things the voice actors have said and the different things that have happened to make me believe we're getting another season, the last episode we did get was really fitting for a final episode. And this movie would have been a nice last hurrah for the gang, but I really just don't see this as the case. Okay, so unfortunately, that's it that I can say without saying any spoilers. So, if you haven't seen the movie, you need to get out. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that they went there with this movie and they rebooted the gyms. That was so crazy for me. I didn't expect it at all. Like, oh, it's so funny. Like, just Pearl, like, thinking Greg is her master. Like, oh my gosh. So many funny moments. I'm just like, oh, Pearl. I just think it was a really good plot line because it leaves Steven virtually on his own. And it really touches on fate. Like, it is all these gems' fate to get where they were. Like, it is fate that Ruby and Sapphire fuse and become Garnet. It's who these characters were meant to be, and it's like, yeah, even getting rebooted, they're gonna get there. Like, it was super cute to see Steven get Amethyst back to who she was by doing the things that she enjoyed the most and her mimicking him. I also really enjoyed that song that they had together. And just the way they got Pearl back, that was just epic. So, I never really thought of Steven fusing with Greg. I mean, it was a thought that had crossed my mind, and I figured they would be able to fuse since Steven can fuse with Connie, but I just didn't see a time or place when that would be a necessary thing for them to have to do. And I couldn't really see any special qualities that their fusion would have. I don't know. They're just so similar, I didn't really see how a fusion would work with them, like what it would look like or anything. But then, I love Stag. Like, when is he coming back? Even though, you know, it's like I know what their fusion looks like now and I've seen him and what he can do, I'm still kind of like, but there's not going to be a lot of situations where that particular fusion is gonna need to be present. But this really was the best situation to introduce him and for them to fuse. Like, they proved me wrong that there would be no situation where those two particularly would need to fuse. And the song, I love the song. It's just epic. And just Pearl's reaction to the whole situation was just priceless. I do think it's smart that they saved Garnet to come back for last, because I think it was really important that they didn't have Future Vision on their side. Now, let's talk about Spinel, the villain of the movie. So, first off, I'm not one bit surprised about what happened to her. It really harkens back to the whole Steven is cleaning up his mother's mess, and he's paying the price for the things Rose did and for her decisions. And yeah, here's just one more character that got caught in the crossfire of Rose wanting to do what she wanted to do. And I really do understand Spinell's, how she decides she wants to deal with the whole situation, and just after what she went through, I can understand it. And even when she does start to kind of come around, she immediately starts to think that she's gonna be abandoned because she has these abandonment issues now, and it's like, I get it. But I really do love where she ended up in the end with the diamonds, and I really think it was the best ending for her that she could have gotten. Spinell was just a really interesting character to me, and definitely the best villain the series has really had. I mean, she even gets a villain song, and it is pretty awesome. And I don't think any other villains have had that, even White Diamond, right? I could be wrong, I guess, but I really feel like no other villains have gotten an opportunity like Spinell had. I also really love how Steven got put back to square one with his powers. This is a situation where it really does pay off to have seen all the episodes, because then it brings you back to season 1. But at the same time, they are still really able to just show off how powerful Steven has gotten over the time that we've missed, and just how good he's gotten with his powers. I don't know. This movie was just amazing to me. And honestly, it was pretty much the best scenario I could think of for a Steven Universe movie. I could go on and on about this movie, but honestly, I think just what I'm most excited for is seeing what happens now going forward. I am just so excited to see what this series has to offer next, and if not, then, well, it's been an amazing series, and I've loved watching these characters grow and change. But as far as Steven Universe, the movie, goes, it's getting 10 out of 10 rose quartz for me. I really got more than I wanted with this movie. Honestly, the really only negative thing I can say about it is that it wasn't in theaters. But what do you guys think? What was the most surprising thing that happened in the movie for you? Was there anything you would change about the movie? And what was your favorite song? Mine is a 3-way tie between Other Friends, Independent Together, and No Matter What. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.